Hello everyone, this is Caleb Simpson here from ZeldaDungeon.net, and you are watching our video walkthrough for The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. This is the 6th chapter of the walkthrough, which covers the second dungeon of the game, the Snowhead Temple. As soon as you enter, you'll immediately encounter a new enemy that you may have seen outside called a white bow. They're quite literally just a white variation of the black bows that we fought back in the Woodfall Temple. While wearing the Goron mask, you can use a well-timed Goron pound to take them out, though I think the best way to kill them is probably using the Deku mask, since that way you can avoid taking damage. You want to fire punch through the ice stalagmites blocking your way and touch the heavy stone block. That'll inform you that these bigger blocks are pretty darn heavy, so you'll have to use the Goron mask to push it forward. In the second half of the entrance, you'll meet a white Wolfos, and we fought several of these guys on the way here, but just remember that their backside is tender and will do additional damage if you hit them there, so a well-timed Goron pound can actually kill these guys with a single hit because of this. Once it's defeated, you want to enter the door with the dark blue trim, which is the only one we can use at the moment. Inside the room with the bridge, you want to turn off to the left, and you'll see a stray fairy within the pillar in the center of the room. Throughout this temple, I will be collecting all 15 stray fairies, which leads to an optional upgrade afterwards. Now, they are not required to beat the game, but the rewards are well worth it. Now, you can take the ladder nearby, or you can just jump down. With the Goron mask, you can actually hold A and forward on the analog sticks, so you'll start rolling as soon as you hit the bottom, and that way you can avoid taking damage, but also travel really fast. You can also walk in lava as a Goron, so that's pretty darn sweet. There are 2 stray fairies we can get in this room. The first one is in the far west, just underneath a platform below the doorway, and you want to shoot the bubble with an arrow to release it. And the second one we saw from above is inside a bubble in the central pillar. Once you've released both of them, you'll need the Great Fairy mask to reel them both in. Now, I got this mask back in Chapter 2 by saving the Great Fairy in Clocktown while in our normal form. The hair glows when there are stray fairies remaining in the room, and it also makes them fly towards you if they are able to. You didn't need it in the first temple of the game, but all of the dungeons afterwards require it to get them all. So if you want to collect all of the stray fairies with me, you're going to need the Great Fairy mask. Once you climb back up the ladder, you stand near the beginning of the bridge, and Tattle has an optional hint for you. She says the ground here is slippery, giving you the perfect opportunity to charge up a Goron roll. However, the trick is that you need to watch out for the Freezard's freezing breath there on the left. You want to watch out for the first one, and once it's done blowing, then begin rolling across the gap. Once you reach the other side, you can attack the Freezards if you like, but it won't actually accomplish anything for you at this point. Now, we can go through the nearby doorway now, but instead I recommend you jump across this little platform, and the stray fairy we got earlier is actually just underneath this platform. You want to take the stairs that lead upward, and you'll meet up with a new enemy that you may have seen back in Termina Field, but these are real bomb shoes. These mouse-like creatures will chase after you and explode after a while, but they also explode on contact. Because of this, I recommend you just walk into them, use your shield, because that way you will avoid taking damage and it will kill them guaranteed. You can also shoot them from afar with an arrow or another projectile. And this particular one actually doesn't come after you, so it just kind of sits there. So you can actually totally ignore it if you like. You want to open the large chest that's in the corner to get the dungeon map. And this will be very helpful for this dungeon. You want to remember that you can hit the start menu to look at the full map and see which rooms you have visited, and that way you can also figure out where you need to go next. There's also a stray fairy here, but I'm going to get that later when we are officially accomplishing this room. You'll see what I mean later. For now, that's all we can do here, so go back down the stairs and enter the blue door. Yes, it is a very tall room, and yes, you do want to avoid falling down. In this central room, if you do fall to the lowest level, you can simply take the stairs to get back up to floor 1. Once you regain control, you want to run over to the opposite side and enter the golden doorway, which is straight ahead. Inside, you want to grab the double blocks that are on your left and pull them backwards. Once you have it out pretty far, you want to start pushing it over to the west side of the room, where there is a floor switch that is hidden underneath the snow. Our goal is to snap the blocks on top of it and keep it pressed down. Surprisingly, you don't actually need the Goron mask to move these blocks, even though they're like 5 times the total size of Link. I don't understand. I mean, you have the bigger block that is at the start of the dungeon, and that one you did need the Goron mask, but whatever. What a champ he is! Once you snap the blocks into place, this will create a chest on the upper platform, and mission accomplished. So we'll be able to reach that later, so don't worry about it for now, but getting that out of the way now makes our life easier later. So next you want to go ahead and run into the little alcove that was behind the blocks, and you'll find a small chest containing a small key. So if you remember from earlier, there was also a locked door near the entrance. To get back to the entrance room, though, you're going to have to go back through the bridge room with the Freezards, but instead we can make ourselves a little shortcut as long as we're here. Back in the central room, you want to run over to the red doorway that's on the right and is frozen over. There are lit torches on either side, and if you remember from the last temple, we could shoot through torches to set our arrows on fire. Use your hero's bow to shoot an arrow through the flames to melt the ice, allowing us to use this red door that leads back to the entrance. Enter the locked door here to run into the middle and find the large chest that contains the compass. This is actually pretty handy because most of the small keys in this dungeon are hidden, but there are also fairly tricky stray fairies to get that are also in chests. By using the start menu, you can figure out which floors still have chests and hunt down all of them. Of course, if you're using my wonderful guide, it doesn't really matter, right? On the far west side of this room, there is a cracked wall between the two pillars. You need to use either bombs or the blast mask to blow it up. Now, if you do decide to use the blast mask, you can hold the R button to use your shield, and you will avoid taking damage this way. Run up the stairs that are revealed, and in this new room, you want to use your hero's bow to shoot the giant ice chunks that are hanging from the ceiling, making them break the ice that is covering the central pillars in the middle of the room. Now, the only ones that are required to remove is the one on the right and the one in the center. The others just lead to optional rupees, but personally I think they're kind of a waste of time, honestly. Now you want to climb up onto the first little platform and then jump to the next one, and you want to be quick because there are ice stalactites that will fall from the ceiling once you pass under them, and they constantly reappear too, so if you fall down and then try it again, you may still get hit by them. Now you'll see on the wall here that there's a patch of snow that's hanging down suspiciously, and if you look at your mini-map, you'll see that your compass shows a chest in that direction too. Use the lens of truth and it will allow you to see through the fake wall if you like, but either way, you want to hop over and open the chest to find the third stray fairy. Jump across the platforms to reach the opposite side where there is another chest on your minimap, and you can blow up these snowy boulders with bombs, the blast mask, or you can simply fire punch them with the Goron mask. Once it's removed, you want to open the chest to get a small key, and then turn around and use it on the locked door. In this next room, you want to slap on the Great Fairy's mask, and you'll see that the hair is glowing, meaning that there is a stray fairy in this room, and it's kind of in a sneaky place though. You want to use the hero's bow and the lens of truth at the same time, and then look up at the ceiling. You'll see through a fake ceiling, I suppose, but in the center of this cone, there's the fourth stray fairy is trapped inside a bubble. You want to shoot it with an arrow, then release it, and then continue wearing the Great Fairy's mask to pull it in. There are several white bows in the center, but they only hang out in the snow apparently, and they just reappear if you defeat them, so you should just ignore them. In the southwest corner of the room is a giant switch on the floor. As you stand on it, Tattle will have an optional clue in case you're stumped. She hints that you'll be able to pound on it, so slap on the Goron mask and then hold in the A button and press B to use a Goron pound. This will press down the switch and start off the puzzle of this room, and this will also allow you to reach the other side of the room, but it will also block off the door. You want to jump across to get over there, and you'll find a green switch. You want to pound on this one as well. This will make a green switch lift in the center, but it's timed, so you're going to have to be quick. Now this is the part that stumps most people, but our goal is to push down the yellow switches again so that we can unlock the door. You want to run over to the middle one and mash it down. This will lower the one blocking the door, but now we're stuck in the middle. So quickly take off the Goron mask and then run to the green switch. You can kill the white bows if you want, but it'll waste valuable seconds. Climb up onto the green switch and use it to jump to the far platform before it goes back down. At long last, go ahead and enter the door. Yay, we're back in the central room, but now we're on the second floor. Obviously you need to charge up a Goron roll to get across the gap, but there's a doorway that's straight ahead that's blocked with ice, and we can't really do anything with that just yet. I'm going to turn off to the right, and which is to the northeast corner, and you'll see that there's a snow berm here, and the goal is to roll across it, but as I demonstrate, if you do fall down, you'll land in the net-catchy thingy here, which is nice. You want to smash the jars if you want, and then climb up the ladder to try again if you did fall down. It's not that hard once you get the hang of it, but you may want to try it a few times to get good at it, since there are harder ones later on in this dungeon. I recommend taking it slow rather than holding the analog stick all the way forward. Once you make it, you'll find a door, but just ignore that one for now, we can't really do much with it. Instead, you want to Goron roll across the gap to reach the west side, where there is another door. You want to punch the snowballs here to find some life and magic, and then enter the door, and join me for the next video, where we will fight the first mini-boss of the dungeon.